Well, hi there.
Hello there. I'm Mr. Jason, the personal secretary to Amelia Austin. How are you today?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Good. Doing well.
Good.
I'm enjoying my time here in Great Britain, and I'm really excited to be here for Mrs. Austin of Austin, Texas.
Yes, I'm excited for this meeting.
Good. It sounds like your client, Mr. Solis, has quite a car. Mrs. Austin fell in love with it.
Well, that's good to hear. It's very good to hear.
Yeah. Sounds like a neat car, a Bentley convertible.
Did you not get to see it?
Oh, I've only seen pictures of it, and I've done
Okay.
some research on different classic cars. But this 1927 version, 91 years old this year.
It's a beaut.
Oh, sounds like it.
Runs like a champ, as I'm sure her
Okay.
mechanic could tell her.
Yes, she did drive the car and had it inspected by her mechanic. She likes it very much. And of course, I understand it's been expertly restored and maintained well.
Yes,
Yeah.
very much.
Good.
I have, if you'd like, receipts to show you what all's been put into it, and like both money-wise and what's been done to restore it.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just actually wondering, is Mr. Solis the original owner of the vehicle? Has he had it this entire time?
It was in his family,
Mm-hmm.
so it's been around for a while in his family.
Okay. Good. So, have you actually sold many of these cars? Do you deal in classic cars a lot?
Oh yeah, that's my whole career has been selling antique vehicles.
Oh, good.
So
Well, Mrs. Austin has me in all kinds of different deals, but this is the first time I've actually attempted to purchase her a classic car. So this
okay.
will be a first for me.
Well, what is it about this car? Like, did she come to the UK looking for an old Bentley?
Well, no, I think she just has been traveling some to get over her broken heart. She recently lost her husband, and I
Sorry to
hope
hear
that
that.
this car, thank you. They had a very long, happy life together. So I think this car might actually just be a bit of a swan song for her.
Okay. So a little bit of sentimental meaning for her if she purchases it.
Yeah, I think so. So it sounds like you've had a lot of experience selling the cars, but one thing that I've been wondering is, what is a market price that you've seen for Bentleys? I've seen a lot of information on Rolls Royces, but Bentley's is definitely one of those obscure vehicles.
Well, unfortunately, a car like this, it's really okay. So to purchase like a vehicle today, you can of course go to what do y'all have in the US, Kelly Blue Book, and figure out like what a good price would be to sell or purchase a vehicle at. But since this vehicle is one of a kind, it's custom made,
Mm-hmm.
it's so hard to determine any type of market value for it.
Oh, okay.
So I honestly couldn't give you like a comparable amount that the 1927 Bentley has gone for.
Hmm. Well, I did see in the recent edition of the Hemmings Motor News, for example, that some of the Rolls Royces were selling pretty high, even. In fact, almost as comparable to the brand new Rollses. So it seems that the cars retain their value over time.
Mm-hmm. Let's say both brands do.
So then I suppose if it's been in Mr. Solis' family for 91 years, you may or may not know how many of the original parts retains. I guess we both know that it runs well and that the body is in excellent condition. So during its restoration, how much of it is actually original?
Yeah, I don't know that. I would probably have to go back and ask Mr. Solis if he would know,
Mm-hmm.
or if we could figure that out looking at receipts.
Okay.
So,
Well, I mean, if you'd like, we can discuss those today. I know that Mrs. Austin has given me full discretion to wrap up the deal today or in a month's time. It would definitely be in my best interest and time to go ahead and hopefully reach an agreement today. So let's see what we can do.
okay, is there a certain amount of original parts that y'all are comfortable with? Or maybe I should say of refurbished parts?
Well, I think that basically if we can understand that what makes the vehicle worth more in terms of how I understand the market based on my research in the Hemmings Motor News, the number of original parts basically would be important in terms of the real, since this really is more of a hobby car for my client, Mrs. Austin. I'm not sure that she's necessarily attached to the amount of original parts.
Okay.
She's, more interested in the glamour and the,
Especially taking this back to Texas. Woo-wee!
yeah. Well, and that's one thing that, I've definitely considered in terms of getting it overseas, because we'll port it at Galveston.
Okay.
And from London to Galveston is about $1,000 to $1,500. And it could incur some additional costs because it is an antique car.
Okay. Well, I mean, in my experience selling antique cars, I mean, people are willing to pay more for the antique, one-of-a-kind, custom-built type vehicles, not even worrying about how many original parts are on it.
All right.
So,
well, that's a fair assessment. So based on that, I feel comfortable going ahead and making an initial offer and then seeing where we can get going from there. Does that sound amenable to you, or?
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead and set.
I'm all ears to hear what your offer is.
All right. Well, then, based on my discretion and research, I'd like to go ahead and offer, let's see, I'd say 7,000 pounds sterling for this vehicle.
That's a little low.
Okay.
I've sold similar vehicles, not Bentleys, but similar age and custom build for 30,000 sterling, 30,000 pounds.
Mm-hmm. Well, 30,000 is quite a jump from 7,000, and I definitely would like to purchase the car today. However, at 30,000, we're not going to have a deal. So I guess it's just going to have to land somewhere between 7 and 30. Would you agree?
I would agree.
Okay, so that's good. So we're looking at a gauge between 7 and 30. And
I mean, I understand that you're wanting to pay the lowest price that you possibly can, but I would hope that you would understand, like I said, this is my career. I sell cars to make money to support myself and my family.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to disrespect in any way. And I want us both to walk away from this, hopefully getting what we want, which is me selling a car and you shipping a new car to your client.
Sure, absolutely. Well, I agree, because we both want to represent Mrs. Austin and Mr. Solis to the best of our ability.
Absolutely.
And for me, I also feel that it's important for us to maintain our clients' reputations and their satisfaction for the purchase price and the sale of the vehicle.
Yes.
So the best price for my client's investment would probably be 10,000 pounds sterling.
It still feels pretty low. I don't know. I just feel like y'all are trying to take advantage of me and my client. I mean, that's what, $12,000?
10,000 pounds sterling is $13,118.
For a custom-made, one-of-a-kind convertible Bentley. I think that's pretty cheap.
I will incur the cost of shipping the car overseas, of course, and I want to be honest in terms of my fair and reasonable price as we sit at the table representing our clients. So,
Yeah.
And of course, honor my own livelihood, as I am the personal secretary of Mrs. Austin. So the price is not necessarily set by me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess with all that, I understand that your shipping cost is an added cost, but I mean, y'all are the ones that came to Britain and found this car that you fell in love with. I would say you were in the know that that was something you're going to have to pay for. So I guess I will offer a counter of 22,000 pounds.
22,000 pounds. 22,000 pounds is definitely getting closer to a price that I think is amenable.
Okay.
And I want to make sure that the most important thing for us to understand is that the relationship between Mr. Solis and Mrs. Austin is a relationship that Mrs. Austin hopes to continue in the future, not just through the purchase of the vehicle. She enjoyed meeting Mr. Solis, and her being a widow, she does, like to maintain contacts with gentlemen such as Mr. Solis, just in case something down the line. They both have a love of classic cars, and
Absolutely.
we wrap up the deal today, Mr. Solis might even be able to accompany the car to Galveston in hopes of meeting Mrs. Austin in Texas. Really great opportunity. But 22,000 pounds sterling is not quite the number that I'm actually able to afford at this time. So, based on the additional cost, I'd like to go ahead and counter your offer of 22,000 pounds sterling with 19,800 pounds sterling.
I think I can do it. I think I have an offer on the table right now for 26,000 pounds. And I know that my client, Mr. Soles, seemed very happy working with Mrs. Austin. And I want to make this work for both of them. That's why I countered with the 22. And I just feel that if that's, I mean, is 18.8 your last offer? Because I'm sorry, but
well,
like I said earlier, this is how I can support myself and my family, is selling vehicles.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'm glad that you were forthcoming with the fact that you do have another offer for 26,000, and that is definitely not a price that we are able to afford at this time. But based on our client's interest and the development of the relationship, I would like to go ahead and make a final offer of 20,000 pounds sterling, and that is my firm and final offer. I can't go above 20,000 pounds sterling, and I reiterate that Mrs. Austin is willing to pay money for the vehicle and take possession of the vehicle at that point and incur the additional cost above 20,000 in order to transport the vehicle to Galveston, and in hopes of also inviting Mr. Soles along with it.
Well, she wouldn't be willing to pay 20,500.
20,500 sounds like a deal.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, 20,500, and I have the documents here. Let me just take a look here. 20,500 is the agreed upon price. And as I reiterated, Mrs. Austin is willing to pay cash and take possession. So just for the record, the registry of the motor vehicle, the Bentley 1927 with the serial number ending in 6783 BB. Consideration received in the amount of 20,500 Great British pounds sterling by the previous registered owner, Mr. Soles, granted and exercised in the authority of Ms. COMM, and signed by myself, Mr. Jason McLaughlin, today, what is today?
27th.
The 27th of June, 2018. And I will go ahead and get that registered check and record of negotiation between Mrs. Austin and Mr. Soles immediately, and we will get that check paid out to you for $20,500.
Great.
Great. I'm so glad that we were able to come to an agreement today.
Me too.
And I will be sure to inform Mrs. Austin that she got a great deal on a great classic vehicle. And then she'll go ahead and correspond with Mr. Soles, and hopefully he'll take her up on that invitation to join her in Austin for a pleasure cruise.
Oh,
The Pacific Coast.
that sounds great.
Terrific.
Wish I could join.
Oh, you certainly can. Be my guest.
Oh, well, okay. Let's go.
All right. Well, then we'll be in touch soon.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Bye.